The only issue that I have with your side on that, Red, is you trade him at the deadline. If you're in a playoff spot, you're not trading your best players. You're not going to trade. If you're in a playoff spot and Huberdeau is a part of your top set, you're not trading them.
Just like you didn't trade Johnny last year.
You couldn't.
You weren't screaming trade Johnny at the deadline, right? Like
they were in first fucking place, Ryan. They were in first place.
And we didn't know they were going to be at this.
It's called, you guys, you cherry pick shit. You either are Brent Seabrook. You either say, F off, thanks, you were great, or you sign him and you have to suffer for it. Where Carolina's not. And I'm saying that the tough decisions, the tough decision was not to sign Huberdeau and Weegar and see what that was the easy play. Offer them all the money, and Kadri, same thing, offer him a bunch of money and hope the shit sticks on the wall. Well, the tough play would be, let's wait and see what happens and work. And for guys that do it, for guys that play hardball and don't lock in these guys, that turns out better for the organization. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Hey, look, there was a fork in the road. They could have gone get young assets and picks, and they could have gone get established vets. We know what they picked. We also know the owner's enthusiasm for ever rebuilding. So, I mean, I can't say we're surprised they went that way. I think the Weegar deal's fine. I think he could slide into Hannafin's slot on a top pair at any moment and be perfectly adequate. I think a $6-ish million defenseman is not an overpay for what he brings moving forward. I think the Huberdeau deal is going to be an absolute albatross. It's a boat anchor.
The one thing you won't get out of Huberdeau, obviously, is what you saw out of Gaudreau, what you're seeing out of Pasternak, and is a guy in his contract year. Is a guy who's a UFA at the season's end, his lame duck year in his contract, playing his balls off to try and get paid in the summer.
Yeah, and I don't think he's fat and sassy and lazy. I think it's almost like he's trying to justify this contract. It's not like a lack of motivation, right?
It's subconscious, Ryan. I'm not, and I mean,
no, I know. I think 100%. It is too, for sure.
It's not. It just people wonder why, and I'll tell you, the years I played for a contract, I played fucking better.
So then let's pretend he is having a career. But, let's say they don't have him under contract. He's making $5.9 million, and he's second in league scoring like he was last year. And if he is, the Flames are probably in second or first in the division. Now what are you doing? Now what are you doing?
I don't think he gets a lot more.
I mean,
I don't think.
If he's second in league scoring, he's probably looking at $12 million, right? Maybe a little less. Well,
that's a big what if. Right? Like that's a big.
It's saying if he was having last year's season.
And you know what? I would rather pay him $1 million more, knowing he was fitting in and doing that, and was going to be a top 5 scorer in the league with this organization. Fine, make 12. I'd rather make 12, knowing it was over 100 points a year.
Yeah.
Than 10.5, and I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with them. Jesus.
And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just like, I'm playing out that angle to say, okay, like if that happens, then what does it look like?
The other side.
Because if he is having a great year heading into UFA, now it's like, holy fuck, are they going to be able to sign him? What if he doesn't want to play here? Like he could go anywhere. He's going to get this money from anyone. Or it's like, it's first place. We got to sign him. We can't trade him. We're in first place. Just like you said about Johnny last year. They're in first. How can you trade him?
And to your point, Rhett, it takes balls, it takes bravery, it takes whatever you want to call it. But you can't discount or forget what happened here, where you had two guys, essentially, your two star players, leave because they didn't want to be in Calgary, Canada, here, the West, whatever, right?
Well,
you were going to be facing the same song and dance again.
I'll give Treliving a break on it, but that's baloney that you can't figure that out. You better know your players better than that, or you were lied to, and you better shit talk them all around the league. And be honest with us and say they absolutely screwed us. Johnny Gaudreau said he was going to sign with us, and he totally effed us. And in no other words, just like that, be honest about it, because that leaves us to guess what happened. How can you mismanage this? Giordano, why didn't you trade him? It's not just those two guys.
I agree. I think the Flames could have had Johnny before the season at a really low number, and they didn't do it, and they didn't trade him. That's not great asset management either. But it was a tough offseason to do either. But still, you went in eyes open, knowing this was an option to happen, and that he's a guy from a part of the world he likes being in.